So the Philadelphia Eagles win a close one versus the Arizona Cardinals in Week 5 to remain undefeated, the final score being 20-17. And the Eagles are 5-0 for the third time in franchise history and are, again, the only undefeated remaining team in the entire NFL. The Eagles have pretty much dominated all season, but this game was definitely the closest and most tough win they have so far to date. No one in this game really was a standout player or had a standout performance like in weeks prior, and the offense and defense both had their struggles. The Eagles really showed toughness in this win versus the Arizona Cardinals. Jalen Hurts in this game was actually pretty good. He was 26 for 36 for a completion percentage of 72.2, 239 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. He was decent in this game. The offense, again, like I mentioned, had its struggles, and we'll get a little bit more into that later. But Jalen Hurts did what he had to do during the course of this game. Could he have been better? Yes, but he did what the Philadelphia Eagles needed him to do. He managed the game, and the Philadelphia Eagles ended up getting the win. But the Eagles offense, like I previously mentioned, did struggle. But they kept pushing. They had to battle through injury. Obviously, Kelce went out of the game at a certain point. You never see Kelce go off the field, but he did in this game, and the Eagles had to battle through that. And also, Landon Dickerson was injured in this game as well. So the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line is getting a little bit more beat up as the season progresses, so that's something to keep an eye on moving through the rest of the season for the Eagles. And the Arizona Cardinals defense played the Philadelphia Eagles really well. The Eagles were running a really screen-heavy offense in this game, and especially in the first half, they were having a tough time getting their running game going, and the passing game was going okay in the first parts of the game, and Devonta Smith actually had a pretty decent game as well. And Dallas Goedert was also very good. But they didn't really have any big plays that they've had over these first 4 weeks of the NFL season. This Week 5, there was not a lot of those huge chunk plays that made the Eagles offense so explosive in weeks prior, so they really had to gut out this win. All the points they earned were tough, to say the least, as getting down the field, the Arizona Cardinals defense made it very difficult on the Philadelphia Eagles. They were consistently able to generate pressure on Jalen Hurts, and they did a good job of containing the run. But that did not stop the Eagles, especially on that final drive of the game, where it was tied. The score was 17-17. The Eagles got the ball, and they needed to go down the field and get points. And what they were able to do on that drive was they were able to grind out the clock by running the football. Kenny Gainwell had a big impact on that drive. He was very, very good. Miles Sanders also had a couple good runs, and so did Jalen Hurts during the course of that drive. Bring the clock down all the way to below the 2-minute warning, allowing a practice squad kicker by the name of Cam Dicker go out and hit a 23-yard field goal to put the Eagles up 20-17. Yet another example of the Eagles battling through adversity in this game. And obviously the Eagles would go on to win by that final score, but the defense, this is also a big story in this game, is for the past 3 weeks they have been completely dominant. They lead the league in sacks and in turnovers heading into this game. And that partially comes from the super aggressive play calling of Jonathan Gannon over these past couple weeks. And in this first quarter of this game versus the Arizona Cardinals, the defense looked really good as well. CJ Gardner-Johnson picked off Kyler Murray on the second Arizona Cardinals possession of the game. And the defense was looking strong, but as the game started to progress, and especially in that second quarter, things started to flip. The Arizona Cardinals were able to drive on the Philadelphia Eagles defense and go down the field and get points, and that continued into the second half, and that's partially because Jonathan Gannon reverted back to the conservative style of defense that we saw from the Eagles more last season and in Week 1. Who knows why Jonathan Gannon decided to revert back to that style, as being aggressive had clearly worked for the Eagles over the past 3 weeks. And of course, Kyler Murray is probably the best quarterback that they've played in this young NFL season and over the course of these past few games. So maybe it had something to do with the game plan there for Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals offense. But either way, it didn't really work, and the Cardinals were able to move down the field. In that fourth quarter, they really marched the ball down the field and scored a touchdown to tie the game at 17 apiece. That's going to be an issue that the Philadelphia Eagles defense needs to address as the season moves on. Whether it's playing aggressive or playing conservative, they have to make sure whatever they're doing is working, and if it's not, they're going to have to switch styles and make adjustments according to what's going on in the game. So that's something to look at when it comes to the Eagles defense. And at the end of the game, the Cardinals kind of shot themselves in the foot. They spiked the ball on third down, which caused them to have to kick a field goal on fourth down with 22 seconds left, and they probably could have got a couple more plays in there. They potentially could have even scored a touchdown or got closer for an easier field goal attempt. And then they came out with their backup kicker, Matt Amendola, and he ended up missing a field goal, and obviously the Philadelphia Eagles went on to win the game. At the end of the day, the Philadelphia Eagles escaped with this win. They're 5-0, they're the only undefeated team in the NFL, and in this win, they showed grit and toughness and that dog mentality that Nick Sirianni preaches in that Philadelphia Eagles locker room. Fight through injuries, fight through things not going their way on offense or on defense really in this game. Philadelphia Eagles were able to gut out a win in a close game versus the Arizona Cardinals, but there were definitely some issues in this game that needed to be fixed, like I mentioned, on the defensive side of the ball especially, and then on offense they're going to need to be better as well. So going into this next game in this NFC East showdown versus the Dallas Cowboys, who are also looking pretty good as well, but the Philadelphia Eagles are going to have to get some of these issues fixed heading into this game versus the Dallas Cowboys if they want to remain undefeated and stay on top of that NFC East division. That's pretty much all I got for this video, guys. What do you think of the Eagles win versus the Arizona Cardinals? And if you enjoy content like this and you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel for more Eagles videos just like this, and drop a like on the video to help push it out to other people. And also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram for more sports content just like this. And with that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this video. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.